check. All right. Yeah, John, we're coming through in the stream. Just
Wait, people can hear me?
people will hear you now.
Oh my god. I'm so anxious. Ich habe Angst.
Why are you looking so red?
I don't know. I think it's your fault.
It's not my fault.
I do not know. But can people see me looking red in the face?
Silly. Oh wow, we got a Argentinian Joel. Hello, Joel.
Hola. Could I be more generic? White guy says hola. I'm sorry. You know what I'm sorry about?
Can you see me?
I see your hands twiddling knobs.
Oh, you don't see my face?
I don't see your beautiful face, Abe.
Oh, wow. Whoa. Whoa.
Don't take that the wrong way. It's platonic beauty I'm talking about. Platonic
All right.
appreciation. We go back. We've been friends a long time. How many years, Abe?
About 5 or 6.
Come on. What's the real number?
10.
At least. I got married 14 years ago when you were there. So.
Oh, so 14 years?
At least.
Where are we here? Still got a couple of minutes. 2 or 3.
What is it? 2 or 3? Make up your mind.
2 or 3. 3.
I see 1 minute. My clock says 12:59.
Oh, well, you know, we still let the starting soon thing go a little longer. I think we started a little late with the starting soon.
That was my fault, right? Because I took a little while to get on.
Oh, look, Simple Sam is here, and Rashane, and Vincent.
Acknowledge the chat.
Tadillas.
You know, I hope people turn out. I want this to be a big party today.
Oh.
Tell your friends, everybody. Abe's on.
Tell your aunt and your grandma, too.
Hey, why not? Everybody's like, you know, at least here in the States. I know a lot of you are global, but we just had our Thanksgiving holiday, which is, you know, usually families and friends hanging out together. So, hey, you might be...
My voice is distorting. I have a distorted voice, according to somebody. I'm not going to clip it anymore. Lower my voice a little, so it doesn't clip.
You know, I was doing some video editing the other day for my family, for their business, and I'm amazed by some of the isotope repair, you know, like the RX stuff.
The RX?
Just like magic.
RX?
Amazing. Yeah, but specifically the declip.
Oh yeah, that's pretty
great.
cool.
Yeah, I was like, I couldn't believe it. Magic.
I did some work for a court case not too long ago.
Wait, like
where
forensic audio?
Yeah, where I used the RX to clean up some audio of a murderer talking. Well, not a murderer, a alleged.
Oh my gosh. Some sort of person being accused of something.
Yeah.
But
Help
now,
win the case.
As good as RX is, AI noise reduction is also bonkers. How good it is. Sometimes. I'm looking out for names in your chat that are also regulars on my show. Of course, Simple Sam. What's that noise?
We're gonna start now, John. Is it
all
okay?
right.
Let's start. All right, hello, party people. We're here back again for the last time. Friday, 1 p.m. Are we still on? Wait, hold on. Let's get John in here. John is here. Is this John? Are you there?
I'm
Hey,
like
everybody.
a postage stamp in the corner of your letter.
That's right. And you're nice and red. Are you from Mars today?
Yeah, I'm on, I hopped on one of Elon's rockets, and I'm way out orbiting Mars right now. This is the reflection of the sun off of Mars bathing me in red light.
Okay, right on. Right on.
I don't know
So-
why it's so red. I'm looking at my preview over here, and it looks normal, like the correct
I
white
haven't.
balance.
I haven't
don't
messed
get it.
with you. I really don't know what happened here. Let's see. Maybe
believe you. You're
give
messing
me
with
a
me.
second. Yeah, I'm messing with you. Hold on. I
messing
think I am. How about this? How about we change you up, and we make you another
You're
color?
color correcting me.
How about we make you black and white for today?
Now I'm only going to be serious. If you make me black and white, I'm going to be super serious.
Okay, let's do that. Be serious, John. Serious, kind of melancholic, and no. Let's get you some color, normal
Color's
color.
good. I'd rather be
How about that?
colorful.
How about that? How about
That's
that?
great.
That's okay. You're still a little red in the face.
That's for other reasons.
Hey, everybody! Let's not ignore the people in the chat.
No.
John is super red. Yeah, people are discussing your super redness, John. He's not super red anymore, but he's still red. Let's see who else is in here. Vincent Capers is here. Simple Sam, Rashane, Joel, the new visitor from Argentina, but be the last to visit you'll have on this stream. Let's see. Somebody was talking about. Oh yeah, Simple Sam says I solved the Kennedy assassination with RX. You're talking about RX, John.
Oh yeah, it was.
RX is. Tell us about RX, John. Maybe see if
It's
I have it here.
isotope noise reduction suite. And there's a standalone audio editor that has a lot of amazing tools, and then there's individual plugin versions you can use in your DAW. And yeah, I was using it recently for a job, and I was impressed by how good the declip was working.
Yeah,
I hadn't tried that one before.
I did some pretty cool things with it. See, I'm looking if I have it in here still. I might have been just using a. Yeah, RX is here. A bunch of RX. I guess all the standalone ones. Like, what's the one that's not the standalone one? What's the main one? It's a little tricky to use, right? The RX, because it's some of the stuff doesn't really happen in real time. Some of the stuff that
Right, or it's like a really long delay in processing. Like the buffering is nuts.
right. So you might as well not even use it. The latency is so annoyingly long that which one is it? RX
CPU
Connect.
intensive.
What's
For
that?
sure. It's CPU intensive. It's like,
Yeah,
a
it's
lot of calculations to do that
hey,
fancy
it does
stuff.
it really does perform some miracles, but good stuff. I mean, I guess I'm not going to bring it up right now. I'm just you were talking about it. Hey, you know what's really funny? I was reading up on something really interesting. Maybe you know a little bit about this. There's a new. It's been since like maybe 10 years now that they're tracking mains. You know what mains are?
No.
That's
Enlighten.
the you'll know as soon as I start telling you talking about it. So mains are the electrical signature from a power grid. So you know how in your
Ah.
we have a 50 and 60 hertz different
Sure.
mains electrical signal. So apparently, any recording you make has that mains signal on it from the electrical signal that you're using
It's
from
like a
what you're.
thumbprint or
It
a
is,
watermark.
and
Whoa.
you can actually track it from time and place. So
That
any
sounds great
recording.
for forensics.
Yes, there has been a couple of cases already where there was a case where there was three people accused of arms dealing, and
Whoa, that's serious.
and they claimed that the prosecutor had cut up their audio and made it sound like they were dealing arms, and then the prosecutor came back with this mains thing and with the timestamp and showed that it was a continuous stream and where they recorded at and what time. It's crazy. Where it tracks the grid, so which
That's
grid you're next to and the time. So
incredible.
it's
It's
kind
kind
of
of scary,
very
actually.
very futuristic, isn't it? Like any
Sure.
audio recording you make, like right now, the audio recordings we're making have a little bit of a signature in them
And
that
you could track me right to my bedroom. Wait.
yes. Are you in your bedroom now, John?
I am. I'm not
You're
at the
not in your.
studio.
You're not in
No.
the 343 streaming studio.
No, I mean, okay, we're on holiday break, man. It's Thanksgiving weekend here. There's no classes.
No, there
You know,
aren't
just
any
chilling with the
classes.
family. That what?
No, there aren't any classes.
Yeah, no
this week
classes
on
except we're doing
343.
the stream.
Right. Yeah, we don't have class. We don't even have Sunday classes, right? Saturday or weekend classes either, right?
Exactly.
We
Yeah. So,
start up next week.
so
By the way,
I'm on vacation.
everybody, John and I teach at a school called 343 Labs, and that's actually where this stream
Nice
comes from.
segue.
Well, we need to kind of let people know what we're doing here and why we're doing this. Come and take a class with John or myself or any of the other illustrious 343 Labs instructors. We have plenty of instructors, both in New York City and in Berlin and online, of course. John, do you have any classes coming up, starting up soon?
Yeah, actually, in the new year there will be an in-person synthesis and sound design course and an online synthesis and sound design course, and we're running the short making techno online class again.
When is that?
As
That
well.
was a success, right? That was
The
huge
first time
success.
went great at the end of the summer. Actually, I need to look up the date, but I think we're starting in January. But yeah, you can find out those details by going to the links in the description below.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Is there a link in the description?
I don't have to remember anything. There usually is, yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Yeah.
It's so
All right.
cool.
So yeah, now you know the deal and what we're doing here. So yeah, this is my last stream for a while. I don't know. Maybe I'll come back at some point. But
I want to say it's not your last stream ever. Obviously, you're still
No, it
streaming in
obviously
other
is not. I
capacity,
mean,
but like it's
I
your
mean,
last regular Friday.
it's my last Friday at 1 p.m. for now. Let's just
Yeah.
put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm still streaming on a weekly for that Blue List TV thing on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. where I do I play live with all the gear you see in front of me, and it's a little
chill,
different.
right?
It's less instructional and more kind of let's make a party, which that's always a lot of fun. Yeah, so if you want to see me on a weekly basis, you could see me on Blue List TV at 4 p.m. on Tuesdays. So that's
I'm gonna
that.
tune in.
You should. I've been waiting for you to come down and see what's
It's an
going on.
awkward time. I mean, I was also maybe gonna do that Blue List thing, but the timing, the slot they had for me to do something with 343 was an awkward time that I couldn't commit to 100%, and so yeah. But yeah,
Right.
when I'm not like looking after my kids or doing some family stuff, I will definitely come and join and take part in the party in the chat as you jam on your instruments.
Right. Simple Sam says, "Sad times, no Friday, Abe anymore." But Sam, we get to see each other a lot. We do the dojo together. Sam is always there. And again, I'm probably going to be doing master classes and all sorts of things. And I'm not leaving 343. So, some people are asking me if I was leaving 343. Not at all. Not at all.
We won't let you go.
I'm stuck there. Right. Anyway, so I thought we'd do today, since it's the last day. I wanted to kind of like, I was going through like the last, I think since the summer, I started to make tracks that every time we met here on Friday, I would just work on tracks and talk with you guys. So I got a bunch of them. I don't know if I got all of them because I didn't catalog things correctly or completely. But I got a good number of them. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tracks in here. And, I got them in here. They're kind of treated already. That's one. And here's another one. Oh, John is dancing. And all of these, remember, came together on the fly in front of you guys. And I actually didn't do any work outside of like what I did when you guys saw me doing it. I'm just going through track after track.
You find it.
Sorry, where can we see you on Thursday? It's Tuesday, and it's on Blue List TV. And this is Twitch, at Twitch. So you Blue List TV, and this is a Twitch channel, and that will be from 4 to 5 p.m. So don't miss it next Tuesday. We didn't do it this Tuesday because of the holiday. Okay, and then there's a bunch of them. Some of them, I think there's one like kind of electro-y one. Or maybe I didn't export that one. What was that? That was cool. That was you?
That was me. I forgot my MacBook is routed into the mixer, so.
Oh, maybe that's why you're hearing yourself double.
You open up a web page and the tab just starts playing, and you're like, "Shut up!" That's what happened.
So that's this track, and this is the one that we did last. That was kind of the electro-y one. Whoa, what did I just do? I want to do that.
Breaking stuff.
All right, so what I have thought is, just to kind of figure out, just to do a little hangout, first of all, with everybody here, and, maybe answer some last questions, and maybe talk to John for not the last time, because I'll see John all the time, but what I wanted to do is, like, I have my APC 40 in front of me, and I wanted to set up a little bit of a, hey, what if John invited me to go play out my new tracks tonight? At John's big party that he holds every Friday. Where's that party, John?
It's at 343 Labs.
Right, at 343 Labs every Friday.
I was thinking seriously, like we should do some events.
I would be down with that. We're thinking about some events. We were thinking about a gear gathering and things like that. But you just mean like a party.
Well, gear gathering thing that, you should fill people in on that, because I think that's going to be great. We talked about that before, but yeah, just to have like performance opportunities, either, it could be for ourselves, it could be for other artists that we know that we worked with, it could be for students who are ready to step out and like show their stuff. Yeah, why not?
So like a fun
yeah.
feedback
those
session?
Warper parties, remember that DJ Shaky
yeah.
those guys are doing, and they still do, where it's like an open mic, but for like Ableton Live performers, producers, right? Something like that, but not just limited to Ableton, and maybe screened a little bit, so it's not like a big free for all, but like a couple of acts.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So let's say we have that going on.
Yeah, Abe's gonna be the headliner at my party.
You're full of gems. So yeah, let's say I wanted to play these tracks out, and I kind of wanted to mix them up. I don't know how to DJ, right? I don't own CDJs. I never tried Tractor or Serato before, but maybe I can play them straight from Ableton. Now, John, did you know that Ableton was actually created as a live performance tool before it was a DAW?
Wait, is that why it's called live?
Yeah, exactly. That is why it's called live. Live.
I can't believe it. How did I miss that after all these years?
Yeah, well, things happen. No, really. But the reason I mean, of course, I know you knew that, but the reason I bring it up is because a lot of people don't realize that. Most people, especially people that are getting to it right now, people that come to Ableton now think of Ableton as the app of the season or the kind of DAW that you need to learn because you want to collaborate with everybody else, right? So, but the idea behind Ableton, when it first came out, I remember you showed me Ableton 1 at one point, John. I remember that.
Yeah, but I didn't really use it. I just
No,
was
but
like, oh, this is cool.
You knew that
But
I had
didn't
been
really
getting
use
it.
it to produce with until almost
So
like 3 or 4, I think.
the year was 1999, and I
gosh.
was getting involved heavily in computer apps for making music. I thought that was the new cool way to go.
Well, it sure was.
And then at one point you pulled out the Ableton thing. I didn't even know about Ableton at that point. And you said, "Have you seen it yet?" And then you sent me some cracked version
Yeah.
of Ableton 1, which
Back in the day.
everything was cracked back in the day. I think
Including our
enough time
heads.
has passed, like statute of limitations. We can't get prosecuted because it's been 22, 23 years.
We're going to
now.
lose our Ableton certified status. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, back in 1999, TI-80 Mark seems to be interested in 1999.
Yes.
We are old, guys. We are old, everybody. So you
Giving up
presented Ableton 1 to me, and Ableton 1 was one of the things that's remarkable is it didn't have an arrangement view. There was no way
That
to
is true in the
arrange it.
beginning. It was just the session view, just looping
Yeah,
audio
and
clips. No MIDI.
and no MIDI, no VST support, no arrangement. It was just the session view. And but hold on, DJ Sasha pioneered Ableton DJing in the beginning.
He was one of the first big DJs I heard of to use Ableton Live to do that.
Yeah,
Everyone
I think
else was on like Final Scratch at the time and Serato.
you know who was doing it? It's Surgeon.
Yeah. I remember.
Surgeon was
early.
doing was
He's always
using
on the cutting
Ableton to play
edge.
out. Yeah, that was 1999 was TI-80 Mark's junior year in high school. Just for everybody's information. So you showed me this app Ableton. It's like, whoa, this is kind of crazy and cool. But at that point already, the live integration for controller was very robust, even in Ableton 1. I mean, it
that
wouldn't
was
make
sort of like
sense.
the whole point of it in the beginning, right?
Right. The whole point of it was that you could grab controllers and go to town on stage with your computer. Right?
Right.
So basically making the computer a musical instrument somehow. No?
I think
Too
they
far?
succeeded. Robert
Too far?
Henke and the other dude.
Yeah, so Thomas D says, "You're not old because that would mean that I'm old too." Yeah, you are old too, Thomas.
Dietz.
You are old too. I remember using Cubase, an Atari, and a Corrigan 1, and an MU sampler. Yeah, been there. Yeah, done that too.
Been there.
Yeah,
Definitely done all those.
yeah. My first computer sequencer was on a PC, and it was called Sequencer Plus Gold. Do you remember that?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and I used a Tahiti card from I forget. Anyway, it doesn't matter. No, that was later. I used some other MIDI interface. And this is like early 90s, mid 90s. But yeah, so we're all old here, and
We're
back
wise. We have in the wisdom of our years, you can trust us to guide you. and mentor you.
Right. So, so the thing with Ableton One was that's remarkable. It just in the beginning of it, it was already very, very ready to go on stage, and so let's do that. So now John has invited me to his new show on Fridays, his new party on Fridays, and I'm going to come with this controller. I have one controller. I could grab. I actually should have grabbed a simpler controller, but any controller will do that has the right setup for it. And what I mean by that is like maybe faders, knobs, and buttons. Hold on a second. Let me show you an older controller that might have been Abe played at Thomas Jefferson's birthday party. Yeah, I used to date his sister. All right. So I got this controller now. This is enough for what I would want to do. I'm not going to plug it in because I don't even have the old mini USB cable for it at the Heredia. Somewhere I have it. But something like this would be enough. It has faders, knobs, a couple of buttons here and there, maybe a little transport over here. This is, you can get something like this for, I don't know, way under $100. Well, maybe not way.
You could even use a regular MIDI keyboard to do this. You can use MIDI notes to trigger clips. It doesn't have to be the clip launch buttons. Anything, any MIDI signal basically can trigger something.
Right. So,
yeah.
But let's do it with this guy. Let's do it with this APC 40.
It's kind of ideal.
Well, it is. It's ideally set up out of the box, but I'm kind of gonna, take over some of these mappings. So out of the box, it runs a script written in Python that allows you to plug it in, and voila, it starts working. Things like faders, like this volume fader, ready to go on there. And the clip launching, here we are. You see color-coded and everything. All fun, all great. However, you might want to, from time to time, take over a couple of these knobs that you're not actually using and use it for something else. So let's do that. Let's set up a little quick DJ setup with this. So one of the things, when I've played a lot with Ableton in the past, done a lot of live shows with Ableton, and one of the things that I did when I tried to do something like this, like a simple DJ kind of setup with Ableton, was that my first thought, and I see this happen a lot with students that come to me and want to perform with Ableton in some tracks they may have. My first thought was, hey, I'll take half of my tracks and put them on one channel, and half of my tracks and put it on the other channel, and I'll just go back and forth between them. Now, Ableton has a crossfader as well. Where's the crossfader? At this? No. Here it is. So, and this thing has a built-in crossfader, which is lots of fun, right? So I figured, if I put half of the tracks on one side, I could play a track here, then play a track there, then play a track there, and play a track there, and I'll rock the party that way. And I did even try to go out on stage like that a couple of times. I had more tracks in this, so I could do a lot more, but quickly I realized that was not very efficient. Hold on a second. Somebody's calling me on my phone, which I'm hanging up now. John,
why was it not efficient?
Well, because what happens is if you have half of your tracks, let's do that. Let me grab half of these and put them over here. So if you have, put A and B, so the crossfader action can go side to side. Not that I ever was a crossfader style DJ, but what happens was you're playing. So just say you're playing this track here, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna mix in this track over here. That's great. Mix it in. Hopefully these will warp correctly because I just dumped them in there, but it sounds like they are. So yeah, it's working, and then but now I want to take this one out and mix this one in, right? Oh yeah, that's working. But what would happen is that you thought, this one's playing right now, this one here. What if I wanted to play this one up here? So I would have to play another track from this side, so that I could, stop this one over here and then come to that one. So this made no sense to me after the first time. And I realized that what I had to do was maybe double the whole thing.
It would be fine if you were doing a preset set list going from track 1 to track 10 or whatever in a specific order that you never want to change. But if you wanted to go
but
out
we
of
all
sequence,
know that
you're
that's
limited.
And we all know that's the best way to go about doing a DJ set.
Well, okay, what about a live set versus a DJ set? Like bands have
Even then,
set lists and they go, yeah, that's true. You might want to reorder things. Yeah.
Even then, especially then, maybe. So, okay, let's talk about that. Because John and I have some experience performing live, and we know what happens, or what can happen. So you're on stage, and you're playing a certain programmed list that you set up for yourself. You think, yeah, this is gonna rock the party, and then it's not working. It's just that they're not digging your selections in the order that you put them in. Now you have a choice. You go through your whole kind of pre-programmed list, or you adjust on the fly and you switch it up. So I would say that most of the time what you need to be doing is just adjusting from the fly. When I DJ, I know John's DJ'd a lot, and so if I, without imagine the days of records. John used to play records. That's how old he is. And
people still play records, Abe. What are you talking about?
Really? All right. I used to play records too then. So when I would go out to play a record, and I'm sure maybe John did the same. When I would go out to play with my case of records, I wouldn't know what I was playing until about 3 or 4 minutes before I went on. Like what I would start, even what would be the first record. That because I'm watching the crowd, I'm watching what they're doing, I'm watching how people are reacting to the DJ before me. So it's very important to watch the DJ before you, at least for a half an hour before you go on, to kind of get the flow of what has been working and how it's been working, right? So you're watching the DJ before you see what they get happening, what the crowd reacts to that they're doing and not reacting to, and then you finally decide, this will be the one to start with, right? So this is the best way to go about it. But most people that learn DJing or performing for the first time, what they do is they go out and pre-plan a set, thinking they can, map it out perfectly and it's going to work, and positions and cue points and where they're going to jump in, they're going to make the mix happen. And that can work. It certainly can work.
It depends on what kind of show you want to do.
Yeah. But if you're doing a show where people are dancing around and putting their hands in the air and jumping up and down, you want them to react. I understand. Like in a concert, you have a set list that you go through, but even those they tweak out, after a while of knowing what's going on. Something going in the chat. Let's see. Thomas D says, do you guys feel that everything is as tight as when you used the Atari or the hardware sequencer? I think Sasha used the Kai MPC 3000 and then tracked everything into Cubase before he started using Live. What do you think, John?
Oh, yeah, it depends. I mean, I had this conversation about Ableton Live and MIDI timing with Carl Finlow, and he uses a lot of synced clocks with his hardware gear along with his DAW, and he found that Bitwig as a DAW has a tighter clock and has less drifting than Ableton Live. And Ableton Live has every capability of being as rock solid. I think it would be down to probably tweaks to the code, and it also comes down to the stability of the computer. So the hardware that you're talking about, the old hardware sequencers that had rock solid timing, was due to the purpose designed circuitry. Like that's all they do. There's no
Dedicated.
operating system running.
Yeah.
It's dedicated hardware for that purpose, and that's always more solid than a machine, a computer. Potentially, a computer can be configured to be perfect with timing for MIDI, and it also depends on the software. But if your machine is trying to do 10 things, 30 things, 100 things at once, your MIDI timing is going to fail or not be as steady as it could be. Whereas a dedicated circuit that all it does is clock is going to be rock solid.
Super rock solid.
Yeah.
By the way, John, don't miss out on our Black Friday deals.
Oh my gosh.
You could save over 30% on courses until December 5th.
Over 30% is a good deal.
Yeah, there's a link.
Does that apply to the making techno?
I don't know, but
everything, right? I think it is.
I suppose it would be. I mean, it is Black Friday.
It's got to be all or nothing, man.
Right. So let's get back to this. So I decided when I started playing with Ableton that probably the most efficient thing is to have columns with the same exact thing happening on both sides, which helped me out quite a lot because now I could jump between them. Now, for those that, so let's set up, let's kind of go, taking this thing over and making it do what we want. These, for example, these faders here that I'm touching, these are not set to the channels that are happening now. So if I move them, they're not set. But if you go and MIDI map them, they will. Why is that, John? How can I do this now if this thing is not designed to do it this way? Or is it?
Well, you can remap anything you want, right?
Exactly. So that's because you're dealing with two systems at work here. So you have the remote script system, which is felonious. It's named. It's set under MIDI, but it's not MIDI at all. It's just like, or it irks me that this remote scripting setup is set under the MIDI.
If you're a beginner and you don't know otherwise, like it makes sense that your controller goes under MIDI because that's where all your, that's the first thing people think of, right?
I suppose, but it's not correct, and that's not very German of them to do that.
I knew you were going to say that.
Okay. The Python script and the HUI template. That's what Luminous Cloud said. So yeah, so the here's the Python script, and that gives it out-of-the-box functionality. Has nothing to do with the MIDI system because I could turn off the MIDI ports on here
and still get the script working.
And the script is just going to work. What I can't do...
You could not select the script and only do MIDI mapping.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Like if you don't choose a control surface script, you can still map MIDI. It doesn't have to be selected. Yeah, those could all say none, and you still have MIDI remote control.
Right, so we are none, and these two are still working. They're still working.
Exactamundo.
So, hey, Fonz. All right.
Another indication of our age.
Yeah. Everybody Google the Fonz, and that's...
Please no.
That's John Selway. John Selway, a.k.a. the Fonz of the Electro Fonz. Yeah, really, Google it. Google the Fonz, and you'll see what I mean. Hey. All right.
Hey.
That Fonz always said that. Okay, so let's turn to the because I might want to have some of the remote script stuff going. So, it's really nice to have the colored, clip launching set up here, and maybe some other things that are already pre-mapped that I don't really need to remap and that I'm going to use according to the surface. So, okay, but we got these going. I have the crossfader. We could use that. I've never been a big crossfader person, so whatever. We could leave those there and maybe just turn down this and not look at it. APC should have user mode switchable between the default and the live set. There is a user button here for this row of knobs, but But yeah, you know what? The push does have that user mode, but it's so annoying because you put it in that user mode and then the rest of your push is like a brick. You can't really have it in a hybrid mode. Am I right about that, John? I think I am.
Yeah, and I mean, I was just thinking about the times that I've performed at all recently. I tend to away from the pre-assigned scripts and more towards custom assignments where I know this knob does this thing only, and there's no switching modes. And
why is that important when you play live?
Well,
why is that important when you?
And you need the muscle memory. You need, when you practice, you need to know that it, when I touch this knob, this effect happens, and only that.
So when John
so you
practices,
don't make stupid mistakes by hitting the wrong key combination or something.
When John practices for a live set, he blindfolds himself, ties one hand behind his back, and has half a bottle of whiskey.
Dude, that's just Tuesday night at home.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
My wife would like me saying things like that publicly.
All right. So, but the idea is right. John is right. So you want map things that are always going to be static controls that are going to always, do that. So let's figure out what else we can do to make this fun. So we could, imagine having a EQ set up here for each one of my little DJ channels. This is kind of a DJ channel situation. I like that idea, but too many knobs, are going to confuse me. But let's set up a. I guess we could use the EQ3. A lot of times, people don't get enough of a chance to use the EQ3. Most people just jump and use the EQ8. Do you use the EQ3 in production, John?
Not really. I use it for performance or DJ use, because that's, an EQ8 or similar more complicated EQ is like, all right, you can, in live, you can build custom racks and macros and keep it simple, but like, if I'm thinking in DJ mode, I'm going to use the EQ3 because that's what DJs use on generally, right? You've got a high and a low shelf and a mid boost, and that's it.
Right. So in this case, we could set it up. Now, I could say, hey, I have a bunch of knobs here, which already kind of are working with that out of the box, but I want them to never change. I could say, let's say MIDI map the first three here for this first channel, and the second three will be for the other channel. So these are working now. These are working, but I think this one didn't get mapped because the lighting is showing different. Hold on. This one did not get mapped. Now this one is mapped. So now these three, and that's where my blue tape comes in. Everybody makes fun of my blue tape, but
oh, dude, tape on controllers to remind you what's what until you get it all memorized.
Yeah.
So such a good idea.
Somebody told me they have this blue tape in like fluorescent yellow or something.
Oh, so it would like light up almost.
Yeah, yes. So you could see it in the dark. Yeah, because this is kind of a little bit hard, but it's not bad. But you take this and you start laying out like pieces of it, like right there or whatever, so that you can label things. You need to start labeling, especially when you think you remember where you map the controller. By the time you finish mapping the whole controller, you're completely lost. You don't remember, like maybe you remember the first mapping you did. Okay, so let's see what that does for our playback here. Kind of quiet at this point. So I can EQ it now, kind of like I'd want to. It's a little weird because you got to keep track of it, because I think 0 is kind of at like 3 o'clock. But either you get used to it, or there are ways to kind of work around that.
You like in limit the range, no?
Yeah, you can set range limits. So let's try that.
Takes away some creative possibilities,
I guess. But if I limited the range of the track volume, let's see. Wait, not track volume. Gain low. I gotta open that a little bit. So the minimum is negative infinity, but if we made the minimum negative 6, then let's see what happens. Let's test that out. So now this one is just going to boost and take away negative 6. So all I have is a negative 6 and positive 6 possibility, and at 12 o'clock it's more or less at 0. I mean, it's hard to get it right on 0, but
exactly perfect.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, if you think about working with a DJ mixer, your EQs are changing all the time.
Right. So we could do that for all of them, where we limit the bottom to negative 6.
Well, this might be a situation where you can put a visual indicator with tape or something on your controller, so you know where 0 is approximately.
Well, now I know it's at 12 o'clock approximately. So no big deal. Yeah, Joel was saying you can limit them. He's right. And Martin Crockett respects the tape. That's right. Respect the tape.
I want to get some of this glow-in-the-dark tape. That sounds great.
Yeah.
And, it wears out after a while, so you have to replace it.
Whatever.
It loses its luminescence.
Okay, so I'm just working with these two middle tracks here. This one and this one. And somehow I lowered the master volume. So it's fun. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Good that came up. So one of the things that I really, really try to do with mapping out a hybrid sort of controller is that I want to get rid of the mappings that come from out of the box with the script that would be dangerous on stage. And the master is a dangerous one. So I recovered really quickly there because I wasn't in stage with lights and everything. But if the sound had gone down suddenly, maybe you lean over to talk to somebody and your headphone catches the fader and brings it down, or for whatever reason, or maybe you pushed it a little too high by mistake, thinking you were pushing another channel, and suddenly everything is super loud. I don't really need that power, in front of me when I'm playing. I rather, if I need to make it louder somehow, I will go ahead and just use a mouse if I really need to, because most of the time everything's kind of calibrated, so it would be. So I would probably want to change this to do something else, this master fader, and not control.
That's a good tip, because those faders are sensitive. They move easily.
Totally. Right? So here's what I'm going to do. So one of the things that I like to set up is, and I think I have the sends here to do so. So let's do the sends. The sends are already mapped in here. I think you can switch to, so that will be doing DC.
I like the idea of taking your master fader and using it as a macro for a crazy effect sweep or something.
It's exactly what I was going to do. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. Wait, I'm going to take sends to the delay. So in the delay, I'm going to use this here. And usually it's very nice if you, let me show you. If you're playing this, so let me just get it to play somewhere where things are just happening already. So if I send this to the delay, which somehow seems to not be working because it's lowered. So the delay is doing its thing, but now I can grab the filter and work that. See how that becomes a cool little thing you could do on the fly and loud? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to map the filter control. You could do whatever you want, but I'm just getting rid of the master controlling the master volume. That's going to do the filter control. And actually, no, let's do the feedback on that one. Why not? Feedback is how long that tail is going to be. And the filter control, I always like to do that with the crossfader. I'm not much of a crossfader guy. So now when I send it, I could use the crossfader to go back and forth with this, and this to control how long it's going to be. So I get the feedback just going nuts there. And if I want to get out of that feedback, I could lower it. See, I'm lowering the feedback. And this is ready for anything that gets sent to this thing. And you could have a lot of fun. And, just playing live. Yay. So yeah. So that's one of the things that I like to do. Well, the thing that I like to do is take dangerous controls and remove it from my hands, which can do something really dumb. There's a tempo knob in other controllers. There have been tempo knobs that have been more dangerous than this one. I somehow keep this one because that's another dangerous one. You change the tempo by mistake. Oops. Now you're like 20 BPM faster or slower. I don't know which one would be worse.
I mean, tempo is something that's fun to play with in a sense.
It is.
Live,
but in this case, it has
DJ.
a clicky. This has a clicky sort of setup here. There's a click every time it goes
it's
up
not
and down.
Smooth. So that's not what you would want to do creative tempo sweeps anyway.
Well,
It's
I could.
clicky?
No, I like it. You can do creative sweeps, but
yeah.
it sort of stops you from, like, if it was like a smooth knob,
Right.
it would be maybe too much going in one direction or whatever. So I kind of like this one, but I've had other controllers where the tempo knob has been a part of the thing, and you turn it and it either goes too high, too fast, and no way of controlling how many. Like, if I know I want to go up 2 BPM, I just click it twice and it goes up 2 BPM. If I want it to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, I know exactly where I am. So it's not dangerous. Not dangerous. Anyway, what time is it? Whoa, we're running out of time, John. Oh, my last show, running out of time.
You can go a little long.
I can, but I got other things to do.
All right. I don't want to. Yeah. It's your show.
You can add a filter to the delay to avoid apply delay to the low frequency, right?
You could also limit the
there is a
range of
filter,
that so it doesn't go too low.
Well, there's a filter here. Yeah, you could do whatever you want. One of the things you might want to have is a limiter on something like this.
Anyway, Joel, yes, you can do that.
It's Joel. He's in Argentina. It's Joel. Correct us if we're wrong. Is it Joel or Joel? Luminous Cloud says he's going to miss the show. I am too. But hey, life goes on.
Well,
you always have John. John, what are you doing tomorrow? I'm going to put you on the spot one more time.
You're going to be my guest, right?
No.
Damn. I was hoping.
I already had plans for tomorrow.
I'm just kidding. It's not.
I didn't know. You asked if I would be your guest. I said yes, but I didn't think it would be that.
I mean, I guess I have to make this decision now. We mentioned earlier that 343 Labs is on break for the holiday, and I was asked by Thomas, our everyman at 343 who keeps us all in line, whether I would stream over the break or not. And I was leaning towards no. And you know what that means? That means that I didn't prepare something for tomorrow yet. But
that's awesome.
Let's do it. We'll do it.
I'll do it. And you're gonna do the show. You're gonna do the show.
Yeah, and we did chill out last time. And that was nice. I enjoyed the relaxing flow of a chill show, but we'll pump it up a little bit more tomorrow. I think we'll do some electro tomorrow. So Anthony Rother, if you're out there, I'm letting you know officially before tomorrow it's going to be electro, because he wanted us to be more clear about that. So
right. Simple Sam says if we just keep the show running and going, we will never have to stop.
Right,
and it'll never end.
Abe, you should just live stream.
Live stream. Yes.
IRL, just like walk around, streaming with your phone everywhere you go, everything you do.
So it's not Chill Out Saturday again, somebody's asking.
Not Chill Out tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll make some beats.
Electro is so welcome, according to Gabriel Velea.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me show you a couple of other things. So the real reason that I want the CQ3 here. Now, it's good to have it here and access to tweaking it a bit, of course, but it's for these guys, especially this one, the cutoff, the cutoff button.
Kill switches.
The kill
otherwise
switch,
known as.
Yeah. So and here's the magic though. And this happens in a lot of well, not many mixers that I know of have kill switches. I think the Ecklers did. I don't know what other mixers do you know with kill switches.
Yeah, there aren't a lot.
But when you can find them, they're really awesome because so now, but not the way it's set up right now. Because if I kill this right now,
Too much.
it sounds like I'm playing music from a cell phone now, right? And that's not going to carry a party. This is not going to work at all. First of all, let me map that knob or that button, sorry, to something. So I'll do it to this stop clip button here. I don't usually use that when I play live, but now that could be my cut. But the magic is picking the right frequency. And I find somewhere between 90 and 100 hertz makes the most sense. Because now
some low mids in there, at least.
I would say you want to keep some lows in there.
Some upper bass.
Upper bass, yeah.
Upper lows.
Because if you think about it, and sometimes I've done this when I've been DJing. I actually really like to do this. If I could get a cut at 90 hertz, right? You could play this over a system, and it won't feel like you're cutting anything. After a while, even people forget. When the kick drum comes back now, it should come back now. Come on, come back. Okay.
Delirious House. Do you know, Bar 25 in Berlin, that DJing there was like playing with the high pass on at about 90.
Oh, really?
Their system had no subs at all.
Well, some systems are already like that, right, to begin with.
Yeah.
But if you get this going, and if you just, let this happen on the dance floor, people will forget eventually. And sometimes I go 5 minutes.
I've heard you do
playing,
that.
and then suddenly, when you think it couldn't be any better, when people are really getting into it, you just drop the bass suddenly, and they're like, oh, and everybody loses.
Good timing with that bass line coming in right there. Did you
Everybody
practice
loses.
that move?
Yeah, over like 100 times of doing it in person,
Yeah.
or more, or 1,000 times of doing it in person.
No, I always appreciated that you would do things like that. You would have these little tricks to mess with the crowd in a positive way. And then I also liked that you would randomly like play a Latin jazz record in the middle of a hard techno song.
Oh, like I would stop the music and play like a salsa track and
then
go out on the dance floor. And, yeah, I did that until somebody threw a banana at me in Switzerland for that. For that.
A banana of all things.
Yeah, most people liked it, but I guess this one person didn't like it and threw a banana at me. I have
at one of our Rancho shows, we were doing all that cowboy stuff, and then when there was this one really aggro guy that was like just dying for some techno, and he was like really getting in my face. There's always not always, there's often just like that one guy, that one person, doesn't matter what your gender is, that's like unhappy and wants something else. And like, well, maybe this wasn't the night for you. Like,
Yeah. Yep. Fat fan of music says, "Hi, I have a question. It's off topic, kinda. Oh, what's the most common dance move?
Really?
What's the most common dance move in
Nowadays,
the
to this
club?
kind of music, there aren't a lot of dance moves. It's like a lot of vibing. No, you want to see how people dance. You got to look at TikTok videos nowadays. That's how there's plenty of people demonstrating like techno dances on social media. I don't think we're good to show you that. I'm sorry.
What are those techno dances that I remember seeing German people doing really early in the 90s already? These kind of steppy, kind of like
sure.
I wouldn't even know what that's called. I used to see that in Europe a lot. And now it's over here.
Portraying our age here. We don't.
Yeah. But now it's like a thing that's new here, which I see a lot on TikTok videos now coming from the U.S. of that sort of weird dancing.
It's been around and never went
techno.
anywhere. And now it's spread even more. Like I'll see videos of like Gen Z kids like doing gabber dances and hard style and jump style, and I'm like, it's culturally everywhere.
Yep. I'm just looking at the chat. They call it jumping, according to Luminous Cloud.
That's something.
All right. But yeah, anyway, it's jumping. That's what we got to do. Jump. Okay, so yeah, so this is already a okay setup for me to come and play.
You could make people dance with that.
Yeah, so if I map the cutoff here, and I have the other EQ over here, and then that little effect thing that I did already, and I multiply that, and I mean I'll duplicate that, and and just put it on here as well, and then map that to the next button. I think I mapped them to the wrong, so I gotta do this one. I gotta do them on the channel that I've selected, and then do this one to the other channel that I selected. And then those kill switches will be there the way I need them to be. So yeah. So one last thing before we go, I just want to show one more last mapping. The setup in the APC 40 allows for you to like bring that little red border or little box, that red box, where you can choose. Now if you had more, I could keep on going down and finding more. John, what are you playing? I just noticed that. What is that? How you look on the weekends, John, these days?
Yeah, that's me and my party getup.
Yes, this is the APC from the Akai. Somebody's asking that, John. Okay, silly John. Okay, now. What I wanted to show you was now this is the way that you would navigate through even 100 tracks, and you can go up and down finding your place and then trigger it. Now, if you didn't have access to APC 40 that had that out of the box functionality, and you wanted to get that going, what you could do is enter the MIDI map mode, and here on the right side, there's a little box that you can map to a endless encoder, and that endless encoder will now bring, see where that highlighted scene launch thing is, that will bring it to that spot, and you can go down 300 of them or up 300 of them, whatever, and then also map. And it's funny because there's all these mappings and secret things that you wouldn't know that Ableton can do unless you start looking under the MIDI mapping. So here I can map, say, I don't know, I'll map the record buttons on these tracks to play. And now I can turn the knob, find the location of something that I want, and then trigger it. So if I want to trigger the first one, I can do that. I can go to the area that I want and just drop in the clip that I want. So it's a good way to, so if you had something like this here, which has just knobs and faders and buttons, you could easily map it and go ahead and, do a live show with, I would have, sometimes I DJ with Ableton and I have like 300 tracks, duplicated, and you could just scroll down, find the track you want, trigger it. You get used to the system. Anyway, I think we just ran out of time, John.
Oh my God. I was hoping we would just go on and on forever.
No. Things, when you pull off the Band-Aid, when it's over, it's over. I guess I have to say thank you to everybody for being with me for the last couple of years. And, maybe one day we'll be back again. Maybe never. But in the meantime, you could still come back and see me every Tuesday on Bluelist TV. It's on Twitch.
Are you going to do some of your own streams on your own outlets?
I could ask you the same question, and you'd probably give me the same answer, or know what the answer would be.
I have thought about it.
You and I both need the structure of somebody making us do something to like commit to like, being disciplined to doing that. What's that, John?
It's my browser freaking out again. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, nice browser you have. So yeah, just wanted to thank everybody. I'm not going away from 343 Labs. I teach in New York, just like John, and one day we might even do a class in Berlin if we ever get back over there. I also teach online, just like John, and I do other things for studio. We do the dojo. We do lots of things. So I'll be around. And people are writing stuff. Well, it says, I learned a lot watching your streams, Abe. I'm very grateful for your videos. You have a good and clear way to explain concepts and tricks to better music producers. All right. I tried very hard. And thanks for being here. All right. So I guess with that said.
One more little thing, if you don't mind, you'll see that I'm sharing an image right now.
Oh, yeah. What is that?
There's a techno radio, online radio website called FNoob Techno, and a guy that I know has a label called Riot, and I recorded an hour set for his show that's going on this evening. So yeah, it's like for those of you in UK and Europe, it's 2200 or 2300 Central European time, which is what, like, I don't know what time in the evening here. I can't even think.
What was the timing
here? Well, it's in Europe. It's 8 or 9. Oh no, 10 or 11 o'clock, right?
Should it be like 5 in the morning?
No, here it's going to be in the evening.
Oh yeah, the other way around.
Yeah, it's early. Right.
Why are you asking me these questions?
Well, anyway, I just letting everybody know they can tune in and listen to this show. And I played like it's I don't usually do this, but I did an hour set of tracks that I did or worked with others on or were remixes of my stuff. And so it's a little bit of history, and there's a couple of unreleased or unique kind of tracks that people don't have. So check it out. It might be fun if you like some. It's a little harder edge, this one.
So Mark Schultz says something off topic, but kind of cool, that he just got his 2 copies of Hell in Cell.
Oh, delivered. Nice! Yeah, that's out. That's available
during the stream? During the stream, they delivered it. Look how that's
fantastic.
Synchronicity.
Wow, what great service!
Yes.
But yeah, that's the new the project with DJ Hell, and there's a hacker remix, and then I did my own version of it, and it's like a little Italo disco, space disco, techno, electro kind of fusion. So
yeah,
it's kind of like it's like the late '90s again.
Is it available on vinyl? Is that what it is?
It is on vinyl. Yeah, I have one here. I tried to sneak it in and show it earlier, but the background removal is messing up the.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can kind of see the. Yeah, anyway.
Kind of see it. Yeah.
I don't want to show you how messy my bedroom is.
All right, everybody, come back tomorrow at 1 to see John and his show, and maybe you'll see me on his show one here and there from time to time. But thanks again, and well, I could just say goodbye now. No, is that what we do?
Bye now.
Bye.